General Hospital spoilers and updates tease the signs have been evident for some time regarding the hidden truth in Brooklyn Quartermain's Amanda Seton history. As many fans speculated, it was officially revealed earlier this month that Brooklyn became pregnant as a teenager and chose to place the baby for adoption. General Hospital spoilers: a baby daddy twist? Brooklyn found herself swept away by the excitement of her role as a camp counselor, leading to the show's subtle hints that Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, might be the father. Given their summer fling, it seems logical for Dante to be the biological dad. However, this entire plotline has felt overly predictable. Many fans have already deduced that Giovanni Gio Palmieri, Giovanni Mazza, is the child Brooklyn gave up, leaving little room for surprise. The writers of GH could certainly benefit from injecting some unpredictability into the narrative. Imagine if they introduced a shocking baby daddy twist. GH spoilers: who else could be Gio's birth father? Could it be that the father of Brooklyn's child, Gio, isn't Dante after all? The current retconned storyline allows for someone else. Another intriguing possibility for Brooklyn's baby daddy arises from the memories of their youth together at camp, especially considering Cody Bell's, Josh Kelly, presence there. Imagine if Brooklyn had a fleeting romance with Cody during that time, possibly just a one-nighter. While Dante is already a fantastic father to Rocco Falconeri, Finn Care, and would surely embrace the role of Gio's dad with the same dedication, Cody's track record tells a different story. He's always been a bit of a whirlwind, struggling to handle even his own responsibilities. What kind of father would he be? General Hospital spoilers: a fun uncle's not the same as a dad. Cody has undeniably forged a deep connection with James West, Gary James Fuller, yet the role of the fun uncle lacks the weight of true parental duties. It would be far more captivating to see Cody grapple with a father-son dynamic with Gio, especially as it would reflect his own experiences with Max Scorpio, John J. York. While the writing team has been positioning Dante as the father figure for quite some time, there's no certainty they'll steer the narrative in that direction. Still, Cody remains a compelling candidate for Gio's biological father, which would certainly introduce an unexpected twist. Meanwhile, our predictions suggest that Brooklyn's past is on the verge of unraveling, forcing her to confront the consequences with Harrison Chase, Josh Swickert. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with GH right now. Come back here often for General Hospital spoilers, news, and updates. The warm rays of the Port Charles sun filtered through the towering trees surrounding the Quartermain mansion, painting dappled shadows on the lush green lawn. Inside the stately home, Brooklyn Quartermain sat on the edge of a vintage sofa, her hands nervously twisting a strand of her long, dark hair. The air was thick with tension, and the weight of a secret she had carried for years pressed heavily on her chest. She could no longer keep it buried. Across from her, Harrison Chase perched on the arm of a chair, his blue eyes filled with a mix of curiosity and concern. He had sensed something was off for weeks. Brooklyn's frequent distractions, her sudden mood swings, and the mysterious phone calls, it all pointed to something big. Today, she'd finally summoned the courage to confess. "Chase," she began, her voice trembling slightly. "There's something I've been hiding from you, from everyone." Chase leaned forward, his posture attentive but gentle. "Whatever it is, Brooklyn, we'll face it together." Her eyes brimmed with tears as she took a deep breath. "Years ago, when I was just a teenager, I got pregnant. I wasn't ready to be a mom, so I made the hardest decision of my life. I placed the baby for adoption." Chase's expression softened, though he was clearly taken aback. "Brooke, I had no idea. You've been carrying this all by yourself." She nodded, wiping a tear from her cheek. "It's something I've tried to forget, but it's impossible, and now the past is catching up with me." Before Chase could respond, the sound of approaching footsteps interrupted their conversation. The door swung open to reveal Dante Falconeri, his face a mixture of surprise and suspicion. "Brooke?" Dante said, stepping inside. "What's going on?" Brooklyn's heart sank. If there was anyone she hadn't wanted to face just yet, it was Dante. His presence meant she would have to confront the lingering doubts about Gio's paternity, doubts that had plagued her since the moment she gave birth. The summer that changed everything. Years earlier, Brooklyn had been a spirited teenager, full of ambition and reckless energy. That summer at Camp Lakeview was supposed to be an escape, a chance to enjoy her last carefree moments before adulthood loomed. She had been drawn to Dante, the charming and dependable camp counselor, but he wasn't the only one who had captured her attention. Cody Bell had been the antithesis of Dante, wild, unpredictable, and endlessly entertaining. He pulled pranks, told outrageous stories around the campfire, and made every mundane activity feel like an adventure. Brooklyn had been swept up in his whirlwind energy, and one impulsive night under the stars had changed her life forever. When Brooklyn discovered she was pregnant months later, she had agonized over what to do. Unable to confide in anyone, she had made the decision to place the baby for adoption. It was the only way she could ensure a stable future for her child. But the question of paternity had haunted her ever since. Was Gio's father Dante her steady summer romance, or was it Cody, the wild card who had stolen her heart for one unforgettable night? The truth unfolds. Back in the present, Dan's eyes narrowed as he took in Brooklyn's tear-streaked face and Chase's protective stance. "What's this about?" Dante asked, his tone cautious. Brooklyn hesitated, but there was no turning back now. "Dante, there's something I need to tell you. It's about Gio." The mention of the young boy's name made Dante's jaw tighten. "What about him?" I think he might be my son," Brooklyn admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. Dante's expression shifted from confusion to shock. "Your son? But how? Why am I just hearing about this now?" "Because I was scared," Brooklyn confessed. "Scared of what it would mean, scared of how you'd react. And because I don't know for sure if you're his father." The room fell silent as the weight of her words settled over them. Chase glanced between Brooklyn and Dante, his own feelings a tangle of empathy and unease. "Who else could it be?" Dante asked, his voice laced with a mixture of hurt and anger. Brooklyn looked down at her hands. "Cody Bell." Dante's eyes widened. "Cody? You and Cody?" She nodded, feeling the heat of shame creep up her neck. "It was a long time ago, Dante. We were kids, and it was just one night. But now I need to know the truth." A shocking revelation. Determined to get answers, Brooklyn decided to arrange a DNA test. Dante, though visibly shaken, agreed to provide a sample, as did Cody when Brooklyn approached him. Cody had been floored by the possibility, but deep down, a part of him had always wondered if his reckless youth might come back to haunt him. While they waited for the results, tensions ran high. Dante grappled with the possibility that Gio might not be his son, while Cody struggled to imagine what fatherhood would mean for someone like him. Meanwhile, Brooklyn found herself caught between the two men, unsure of how to navigate the complicated web of emotions she had unwittingly spun. The results are in. The day the DNA results arrived, Brooklyn gathered Dante, Cody, and Chase at the Quartermain mansion. Her hands trembled as she opened the envelope, her heart pounding in her chest. "The father of Giovanni Palmieri is," she began, her voice shaking, "Cody Bell." The room erupted in a cacophony of emotions. Cody's eyes widened in disbelief, while Dante's face hardened with a mix of relief and disappointment. Chase placed a reassuring hand on Brooklyn's shoulder, offering silent support. Cody ran a hand through his hair, his mind racing. I don't even know where to start. Brooke, I never thought. I'm not exactly father material." "You don't have to figure it all out today." Brooklyn said softly, "But Gio deserves to know the truth, and he deserves to know you." Moving forward, in the weeks that followed, Cody began the difficult process of getting to know Gio. It wasn't easy. Fatherhood didn't come naturally to him, and his impulsive nature often clashed with Gio's quieter temperament. But with guidance from Brooklyn and unexpected support from Max Scorpio, Cody started to find his footing. Meanwhile, Dante and Brooklyn worked to redefine their relationship. Though their romantic past had been complicated, they agreed to focus on co-parenting Rocco and supporting Gio in his journey of discovery. As for Brooklyn, she found herself embracing a new chapter of her life. The truth was out, and while it hadn't been easy, it had also been liberating. For the first time in years, she felt a sense of peace,